It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
And welcome to Nerd Breaking News. Today, we're going to be talking about the new trailer that came out for the Star Wars, the Acolyte TV series. That's going to be pretty much in the middle of the end of the High Republic. And obviously, the fans are all going crazy about it. But we're going to hear the kid, the professor, and hear about what they think about the new trailer. So let's go ahead and start it with the professor.
You know what I just realized? Disney created the High Republic. That was their idea. It didn't even exist before they bought Star Wars. They literally stopped and said, you know what? This current storyline is so jacked up. Let's make our own corner right here where we can tell our own kind of stories. Now, let's be clear. What was Disney trying to do? This whole time, they've been trying to shift Star Wars in a direction more towards fantasy so you can tell better quality, longer term stories. Genius. As for that Acolyte trailer, that's what Disney Star Wars essentially really wants to be if you leave it alone on its own by itself. And when you're looking at it, it looks a lot like those Star Wars video games that we used to play, that we used to like all the time. That Knights of the Old Republic, lightsabers everywhere. Carrie Ann Moss out here as Jedi Trinity. They gave you Jedi Trinity. People out here complaining. They gave you multicolored lightsabers. People out here complaining. They gave you mysterious Sith with a mask and a red lightsaber throwing around who's able to defeat like 10 Jedis at once. People still complaining. People need to just stop complaining, appreciate what they're watching, and call it a day, okay? Because this is like great cinema to me. Obviously, what the problem is, passing it to the kid.
I cautiously agree, right? Like the trailer was fine. The trailer should have got a generic Star Wars fan or a casual Star Wars fan or even a hardcore Star Wars fan excited. What Star Wars has gotten to the point where if you just give us lightsabers, we're good. We're not really battering anybody, with the exception of Ahsoka, because apparently you can get stabbed and you still be good. But whatever, we're not going to talk about that. It was Star Wars in its essence is the Force, the good and the bad. You gave us that in this trailer. I don't know. I get it. And what the professor was alluding to was there was a report in reference of the video being having more dislikes than likes on YouTube, which to me shows you the state of Star Wars. I don't know what the issue was. And I've been a huge critic of Disney Star Wars to the point where I'm arguing the prequels were better. I wasn't saying that 10, 15 years ago. Nobody was saying that 10, 15 years ago. I think it's the idea of let's be patient and let's wait. This show might actually be amazing, but they won't. They're playing a little bit defense here, and to rightfully so, right? Like we have to give them the benefit of the doubt, but that's not to negate the fact that the trailer was trash. It really wasn't, guys. We got what we want. We got 1,000 years before Episode 1. There's no ties to the Skywalkers. You can go wherever the hell you want. It's the Jedi's. It's the Sith. It's literally the Forest. You know, where's Finn and his bad back? But it's the idea of we know what this is going to be about. We know that the first scene was a Jedi training with Padawans. Like we haven't seen actual Jedis. What we've had was the Mandalorian. We had I guess for Ahsoka, right? Ahsoka, I guess the one exception. And then Kenobi was already like an old man in his retirement age. We haven't seen this before. And the cool thing is this is a different. It doesn't have to be tied into the Skywalkers. They went further from that. This shouldn't get to the point where it has more dislikes than likes. But I do see a point of the reason why. And I'm saying that way, but it's for the reason why, because Disney has more misses than hits. If you look at the totality of everything, and I'm not saying financially because the movies made financial money, it's because the blind Star Wars fans are going to eat up whatever Star Wars have. It could be trash, it could be slop, it could be anything, and they'll love it. They'll love it, just like MCU fans. They'll love it. James Gunn's DC all the way. But anyways.
Oh, my God.
I had to put that up there.
Always the DC guy bringing it up in a Star Wars a video like we're not even talking about Marvels. Relax, bro. Damn.
James Gunn,
But
save us.
kind of following what you say, yes, Disney has had their hits and misses, but as we were previously discussing prior to we started recording this video, most of the misses have been on the film side than the actual shows. And we've had some really great shows that they put out as a product for us to be able to watch and enjoy. And if you're looking at that and the ability that they're going to be able to expand on their own and create this new universe, this little sector basically of Star Wars, is going to give Disney the opportunity to be able to tell their story.
TK, I have a question for you. How many misses did George Lucas have?
Hmm.
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 Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
It's his
But
own
then
story.
again,
The shit never missed.
but then again, this is a guy that eventually, it let it get to his head and he just wanted to put something out there for himself. And he really wasn't thinking about the quality of the storyline or anything like that. He just wanted the flashiness of it. And that's what we got in the prequels.
Correct.
And back in the time, we were all saying, this is hot garbage. And we don't like this. But now that we see what Disney did, people are appreciating it a lot more now, which I still don't understand why. Because if we thought it was bad back then, why all of a sudden we're saying
it's still bad?
It's still bad. But I guess it's more of the comparison of the new films where everybody obviously is seeing like this is a copy paste plagiarism that they were doing from the originals.
I have a question about copy paste. Return of the Jedi. That's not a copy paste movie. Return of the Jedi.
I think all of them in a vacuum are influenced by something else. Lucas said that when him and Spielberg collaborated on several films, they were obsessed with the idea of Buck Rogers and the old serials of the 40s, and that's how Indiana Jones was created. Nothing is created out of everything; it's created in a vacuum. That's not to say that, like, for example, you mentioned earlier in reference of Lucas, how many missed. Let's talk about the films. Lucas only directed the first film and the prequels. So incidentally, the best film in Star Wars history is not directed by George Lucas. So,
that makes his numbers even worse. He has a worse average than LeBron. It's probably 50-50, really, when you're looking at it like that. I didn't even think of that. Thank you for that. So basically what you're saying is the original Star Wars and the prequel movies. So you're saying he directed 4.
He directed 4 and two of the 4 were great. So he's 50%.
Great.
That's more than Disney.
Wait, whoa. Great or passable? Star Wars is great. Are we really gonna say Revenge of the Sith is a great movie?
Oh man, come on, Jay.
That movie's good.
Come on, Jay.
That movie's not great.
Listen, compared to the trash of episode 1 and 2,
we don't need to compare anything to anything. Just look at it by itself.
I would argue that Revenge of the Sith is a top 3 Star Wars film.
Because the rest are so bad.
Hey, blame Disney. Blame Disney. The argument is
we're not
Disney.
arguing with that. We're not arguing about
this.
Films, though.
I would argue that Rogue One is better than every Star Wars movie that George Lucas created.
Okay, let me ask you this. What's the 3 top Star Wars films in history? Because we all agree it's Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, and Rogue One.
Yeah.
Okay. So George Lucas has 2 of the 3.
Wait, say it again?
Oh, he doesn't have to. Yeah, he has 2 of the 3.
Yes, 2 of the 3.
No, because he didn't direct Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, damn it. Damn it. He has 1 of the 3.
You said it.
Okay. He has 1 of the 3. And the irony,
That's
stick with this one. That's terrible. But as a whole, he has 50% that are actually.
No, that's not 50%.
No, the first
Where's that number coming
one.
from?
The first one. I'm saying the films that he directed, the 4 films that he directed, 2 of them, because apparently Jay has Star Wars the original passable. What?
No. Star Wars original is great.
3's passable?
No. Well, no, not episode 3. Yeah, passable. Yeah, you're
okay.
Right. Yeah,
so if 3's passable, what is the prequels?
Trash.
Okay. So let's say passable. That's the new standard. That's the new bar. Lucas has 2 out of 4 passable films. How much does Disney have?
Probably 50%. Probably the same average.
No.
I don't think so.
No. Name me the Star Wars movie. There's 5. There's 5 Disney Star Wars films.
Wait. You said the standard is passable, correct?
Correct.
Passable.
Correct.
Force Awakens is passable.
Bro, get out of here. Get out of here.
It's passable.
It can't
Are
be
you gonna
passable.
argue?
It can't be passable when you plagiarize the film.
So Return of the Jedi.
Not this blatant. We're gonna have a Death Star.
Why are we back in Tatooine again? Why are we in Tatooine again? Did anyone ask to see Tatooine again? No.
And
No.
how
But
whack
now I'm doing
and
it.
how whack was it in episode 7? Hey, you know what? Let's be slick and be nobody would notice. This is a
At least they called it a different planet.
Bro,
George is like same
come
thing
on.
recycled.
It's the same
No,
story. It really is.
No,
Sorry, unfortunately, it is.
the
Raise
fourth
your
It's a
hand
story
if
about
you
a
thought
person
Anakin
Jay-
Skywalker
Jay-
was
in a
in
world.
place.
Jay, you can't argue that the Millennium Falcon would had that cover under him for 30 years. Come on, man. Get the hell out of here.
But you know what I can't argue? Let me tell you what's stupid. What's stupid is Anakin and Luke being from the exact same place, and Anakin never goes back there to begin with, ever as Darth Vader, not one time.
He does, and Kenobi.
He does
Darth
know.
Vader created R2, created C-3PO. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm not. Hey, listen, hold on. We're gonna go
Tell me
back to
what makes
episode.
sense.
Oh, we're gonna go.
Recognize
Hold
his
on. Hold on.
buddies.
And we're gonna go back to episode 1 and not making sense. You can't say that with a straight face and not mention the taxation. Don't get me started on that
You're right.
taxation.
You're
I'm not
right.
an accountant major. I get it. I don't have a CPA. But
Bro, in one movie, you got a tax dispute. You got Anakin Skywalker from the same planet as Luke. You got Anakin Skywalker creating C-3PO, never recognizing him not one time. You got C-3PO and R2-D2 knowing the entire story of the whole thing. Don't tell Luke nothing. None of that makes any sense.
it doesn't. And if you watch the documentary of episode 1, they clearly, you can clearly see that he was surrounded by yes men. I'm not defending Lucas. Episode 1 was horrendous.
Midichlorians. Keep
There-
going.
he was surrounded by yes men. If you go back to the documentary of the original 3, I think I forgot what the actual trailer, the documentary was called. He was actually getting vetoed. And no, for example, he had Han with green skin. Like this dude did not know what the hell he was doing.
Correct. But here's my question for you both. Is all of what I said less dumb than the Millennium Falcon being under a tarp?
That's dumb.
The Millennium
Mhm.
Falcon being
dumb.
under a tarp.
No, you can't
far
defend
less
that. You can't
dumb
defend.
than
you can't
Darth
defend-
Vader creating C-3PO. That don't make any sense.
No,
Who
that tarp.
who was the director for the holiday special that he did back then?
I don't
No
know.
one even wants to remember. They wiped that from everyone's Men in Black style, bro.
I have no idea.
That one too.
Who did direct that?
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up right now.
If that was Lucas, I count that as a film, and he's now under 50%.
There you go. Finito. Get him out of here. And he created it.
It wasn't Lucas.
Okay, so he got lucky. Who was it?
Yeah,
He dreamed
it
it
was a
though.
guy named Steve Binder.
All right, there's a reason why that man's filmography is probably horrendous.
Mhm.
Um,
And yeah, I cut you off earlier. My bad. My bad. Yeah, I think I cut you off earlier. You were saying
No,
something.
you did not. You did not. I was just
Listen,
bringing
going
that
back
up.
to the trailer, going back to the trailer, again, it just ties with the state of Disney's at in Star Wars. The problem is that this fan base, this hardcore rabid fan base, to your point, is not seen straight. We've been having pure trash, and I know what you guys are arguing. The films are trash, guys. The shows have gotten low viewership in terms of viewers, and the ratings and critically acclaim wise, they've been getting destroyed. So to again, is on an objective meter that people weren't watching Ahsoka, people weren't watching the last couple of shows, and the critics were destroying it. So it's not just me saying the shows are trash. I'm saying that objectively, there's numbers to back up the shows are trash. And even if they weren't trash, to your point, Professor, even if they weren't, right, because they probably weren't, it shows the state of I don't care. And that's what's going on with this trailer, because the trailer did nothing to say, hey, you know what, I'm not gonna watch this. You should watch the first episode. Why not? Let's see if it's good. It is.
I was prepared for this conversation. I have a question. What Disney Plus show got high ratings?
Mandalorian,
That's and
Ahsoka,
nope, not even.
Kenobi,
No, not even.
Andor.
There's no answer because most of them haven't.
Why?
Because maybe it's a business model issue.
The state of Star Wars.
No, but what I'm saying is, aside from Star
But
Wars,
if he's outside of
look
Star
at Marvel
Wars,
too.
yeah, and if everybody else is struggling, then there must be something else going on.
Maybe it's the model,
Maybe it's the brand.
but it's not. But it's not just. It's across the board. You can pick a Disney product that you can pick any Disney product that you want. Most of them, unless they're franchises, they're not doing that well, and even some of the franchises are struggling too.
Yeah, but this is
Maybe
a
the
big
issue is
brand.
Disney Plus's
This is
actual model.
huge. Hold on, but this is a big brand. This is huge. This is. I get why the MCU's viewership has been down. By the way, I say that with a champagne bottle. I get why their viewership and everything has gone down. The product and quality has gone down. After Endgame, I get that, and oversaturation, with the exception of a few shows like Loki, the great Loki show. I love that show. Star Wars is, I don't know, man. Like, for example, when we first heard the Mandalorian, guys, right? When we first heard, hey, the Mandalorian's coming out, what did we think? Damn, I guess whatever. And when we saw it, we're like, holy crap, this is actually amazing. This is what's going on. How did you ruin Boba Fett? Boba Fett is now trash because of the damn show. How did you ruin Solo? You can't get over that, Jay. You can't explain that. You can't defend that. Hey, what's your last name? So I guess you're alone. You must be Solo. What? That's his last name? That's how he got it? The longer these Disney shows last.
How did you feel about Loki?
Go ahead, Jay.
Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
What I'm saying is that I'm looking up their viewership numbers across the board, period. Even that Loki show that everyone liked, it was down. It had 35% less viewership than the first season did. 35% less.
Mhm.
But it was just as critically acclaimed or better, first of all. And second of all, that's a reflection of the state of the MCU, not the show. We can't say that about all the Disney shows. Dude, Andor has been destroyed critically for being a boring show. I saw like half of it. I thought don't get me started about the book of Boba Fett. Jesus. Kenobi, you have to scratch your head in some of the episodes. You're like, wait, what? Leia got kidnapped? What? When does this happen? Like, the problem is that I feel like the idea of having a Disney Star Wars show is pretty cool. Disney Star Wars show is pretty cool. I also feel like you should have been more, not put everything under the table. Maybe do like one series a year, but not put everything, because again, the longer you put shows on, the more you put shows on, the more the probability of the lack of quality is there for you. And I just think because of the lackluster movies, it was such a reflection that the Mandalorian saved Star Wars for about 2 years. Everybody was like, Mandalorian, and rightfully so. It got us back to the point where we're like, hey, we could actually rebound. We could actually come back from these horrendous movies, with the exception of Rogue One. After that, and it's been downfall of episode 3, and you get the Book of Boba Fett, you get Andor, you get all these people. You're like, man, it's all right. It's not total trash, but it's not total great. We need a show to bring us back, but irrespective of the shows, right? We got the news a couple days ago, right? Patty Jenkins, the director from Wonder Woman 1 and 2, officially got back on track because it was shelved for a couple of years. Rogue Squadron is going to move forward as a film, and it's going to be like a one-off. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Yep. Something new. Give us something new. Get us away from the Skywalkers. Get us away from something that we've seen before. Bring us back to the idea that we all like in Star Wars. I think that we need to start slow, and I just think that it needs to be something gradual. And the trailer, TK, to your point, the trailer just there was nothing. You saw the trailer, right? Like there was nothing. There was nothing that you said in that trailer going like, I don't know, man.
No, dude, it's definitely going to bring everyone in to watch the show. Like you said, you put a lightsaber out there, we're going to watch it. And the fact that you have one Sith versus a bunch of Jedis. Oh, we remember playing those games. I remember playing those games in middle school, and I can't wait. It's going to be very interesting.
You don't remember the lore that it's supposedly for 1,000 years before, in reference of the timeline of the Phantom Menace, for 1,000 years the Jedi have been ruling, and this is 1,000 years before. So we're gonna see some conflict that the Jedi's probably haven't seen, because whenever they've been cleaning it up for 1,000 years. So to them, they're like, we've been ruling the galaxy.
You gotta remember this is a time period where the Sith had disappeared from the universe.
There you go.
And it was a time of peace and harmony in the entire galactic universe.
And here comes
the conflict. And it's going to be interesting. Yeah. It's going to be very interesting because the last conflict that they had was the major war that they had with all the other Sith, which ended up creating the rule of 2 with Darth Bane and what was the apprentice?
Who?
the apprentice. I can't remember her name,
Okay.
but it creates a rule of two basically, and the Sith disappeared because of that. So yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting. All right, last comments for it. Go for it, Professor.
Oh, I think that the entire reason why Disney struggles is because they have the wrong medium. And at the end of the day, I think that they have aside from The Simpsons, they don't really have a show that consistently does numbers to begin with. And I think that's because with Marvel and Disney, they have a model that doesn't work very well. Because Andor, even though everyone hated it, it actually did good numbers. Why? Because they broke their business model. They had 12 episodes rather than 6. And I think that I don't know. I think overall they just need to change the way that they do things. Period.
Mhm.
I think that the video games are fire. I think the cartoons are fire. Everybody loves Rebels. Everybody loves Clone Wars. People
The
have
Bad
nostalgia
Batch.
for that. The Bad Batch. I think that you need to get away from the Skywalkers. You need to have
Mhm.
something new. We talked about this off the air in reference of the X-Men. We're not gonna go to spoilers, but you need to get away from like your theory. It just needs to be fresh. It needs to be something new. And I think that the people that are complaining of reference of this trailer, guys, what else do you want? We're getting like 10, we're getting Padawans, we're getting Jedi's. It's 1,000 years before episode 1. We're getting a Sith in the forest. Like we're getting something. And I get the kind of argument, right? Oh, but that's such a low bar. Well, dude, what what the hell has been going on the last 15 years, right?
That
We
is
just talked
true.
about it the last 20 minutes. The bar is now passable, Star Wars, because you guys ruined it. Thank you, Ryan Johnson. Thank you, J.J. Abrams, because the bar is now passable. That's what we have to look
Dangerous to
forward to.
go
Hey guys,
alone.
just be
Take
passable.
this.
Just be passable. We should be happy.
All right, so we'll end it right there. Again, go ahead and tune in for the Acolyte. It'll be coming out June 4th, of course, on Disney Plus. Thank you for tuning in, and please like, subscribe, follow us, and we'll see you on the next show. This is Their Breaking News. Take care.